Hi there, my name is Nathan, and this is another episode of The Human Experience. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I was referred to as man's best friend or our four legged friend, our pet dog Harper. And the reason I'm going to talk about this is, as well as everything to do with the human experience on this channel, it's also going to focus in on our interactions with things around us. So, obviously, the environment and animals and any part of nature basically we interact with as humans. It's part of our experience. They are part of our experience. We are part of their experience. And there's myself, my partner Andrea, and our son Blake, and Harper the dog. And the bond that you know you can have with your pet, whatever it is, whether it's a lizard, whether it's a cat, whether it's a goldfish, it's amazing. And I always find it so amazing that, I'm just talking from the dog's perspective, but any pet owner will relate to this, how they form a relationship with their pet, and it's like you get to learn about each other, the loyalty that Harper shows to us. And even when we had our son, who's 2.5 now, like we wanted to, once we got him home from the hospital, the first thing we wanted to do, other than sleep, is introduce him to Harper. I remember it was in our old house, and we carried him in the car seat, and yeah, Harper just come up to us as normal anyway at the door, and didn't really pay attention because he probably just thought it's like just an object that if it doesn't involve food, he's not that bothered. But yeah, he sniffed Blake and didn't really pay much attention after that. And then probably it hit him that he is probably going to come, like, in terms of our attention, second from that point on, because obviously having a baby, it's very demanding. And we still made time to take Harper out, either with the pram. I have a backpack now that I can put my son in, and we can go for walks. So I'm always conscious that I want to give the best life to Harper, our dog, as well as Blake, our son. And it's a balancing act. Being a family is always a balancing act anyway. So yeah, you're for us, again, I'm always going to relate it to our dog, that they will bring the best and the worst out in you. So going with the worst to start with, it's like there have been times for me that I have to reflect and think back, like if I've told Harper off for doing something like running out the front door, or in his case, because he's not that socialized and he's a rescue dog, going for other dogs and, like, yanking him back and telling him no. And there has been an incident where he actually bit another dog and caused like a little puncture wound on this other dog's arm. And we were so like apologetic to the owner of this dog when it happened. Yeah, basically Harper got too close, bit that dog before I could get him back. And in the end, we ended up exchanging numbers and saying, look, whatever you need to do with your dog, if you're getting him checked and whatever, we'll cover the bill. And that's what we did. And in the end, he had pain relief, this dog, and antibiotics for the wound. And yeah, as far as we're aware, made a full recovery, because the owner obviously got back to us with the bill, paid that, and then never heard anything again. No, thank you, no, kind of, our dog's okay now. So yeah, I get it. Maybe they had a certain feeling that shouldn't have even happened. So yeah, in that instance, sorry, what I meant to say was, yeah, at that time I really pulled him back and I gave him a smack on his back, and I said, along the lines of, don't do that or whatever. And I was obviously asking the other owner how his dog was. And yeah, it just was a heightened moment. But reflecting on it, I was like, why did I pull him back so harsh, and why did I hit him? And I get it makes sense. I didn't want him to attack that dog anymore, but it kind of finished. Once I have control of him, it had done. Like, I didn't need to really tell him off. He's not going to understand that. In his eyes, and again, trying to think in the mind of a dog, maybe he was trying to protect us. Maybe he felt threatened from that dog. I mean, something happened for him to want to do that. Or, like I say, with the lack of socializing, with other dogs, then he kind of just has a fear, like an innate fear of them settings, and is only used to being around people more. And again, that could have come from when when my missus initially got him. Um, like I say, he was a rescue dog, so we don't know how he was treated. It's that typical story of, he could have been abused and therefore has this streak in him of aggression, or I think more fear. But it comes out as that. So yeah, there's obviously me losing my temper, but therefore it's not always the dog's fault. It's like, put yourselves in their shoes or their paws, and yeah, just you have to understand things from their point of view. But like I say, as a family, we are forever grateful for his presence. And I'm going to touch on something that is very probably odd for a dog owner to say, and that is that, as well as being grateful for his presence, I'm fully aware that through the nature of dog breeding and humanity's love for dogs, we've put them in some weird predicaments. Now, my thing, I've spoke about this with my missus, and I don't know, some people might be like thinking, oh, it's not that deep. But it really is that deep, and this is why I did this channel, to try and understand things myself, but also help other people understand, or have that conversation, that we love having him here, his presence, but I'm always aware that he is not our family. Like, as much as we introduce him, he is almost like having an adopted child, in the fact that, yes, you take them in fully. That's the extent. We accept all responsibility for him, love him forever, and we'll do anything for him. But he is not our family. Like, biologically, he is not our family. And even as a species, he's not part of our species. So it's like, he has been taken away from his mother and his siblings, and they've basically been all, separated and scattered around the country or wherever they've ended up. Sometimes I know the odd one might stay with the mum or the whatever, but basically their pack has been split. It doesn't really belong to us. And, if you think of that on a spiritual level, like, nothing really belongs to us. We know that dogs are descended from wolves, and a lot of these dogs that you see nowadays, especially these handbag dogs and whatever you want to say, these miniature versions of things, they're not how the original animal was meant to be. You know what I mean? We've bred them into this state. So I do think a little bit, especially when they're developing these ailments like breathing problems or genetic problems with, having bad legs or, certain illnesses, that we need to kind of backtrack from the whole, pedigree breeding, and just maybe breed things for the best of the animal's health, and well-being. So, that's just, I know it puts a bit of a dampener on it for pet owners to think like that, but for me, it just gives that opposite side of, like, we should do all we can for them because we've kind of put them in this predicament. So like I say, he's a part of our family, Harper, and I guess all I can do is kind of introduce him a set. If I can get him to come up. Up, good boy. Up, there he is. There's Harper. Sit then, sit down, sit. Come here, pup. Up. Good boy. Here. Good boy. Sit then. Sit. Good boy. Stay. Stay. I'll just bring this down. He's a bit low. There we go. So there's Harper Rooney. Yeah, he's been a good addition to the family, and we hope to have many more great adventures and great walks with him. One thing that dogs definitely bring is that they get you out and about, and I think taking him on walks, he's having a little wonder now, taking him on walks helps to get me out and about, and that, in terms of my well-being, my health, my fitness, my mental well-being, it really helps. He's like that companion again that can, for some people I know, they can talk to their pets and just get things out off their chest, and they're not going to judge you, are they? They're not going to say anything back. So yeah, they're wonderful animals, and I feel that we've been very lucky to share the planet with them, and we should owe them that loyalty back and show them that we care by doing the best that we can for them. And I think a lot of owners do. There's a lot of owners that would remortgage their house to get their animal, at the vets and sorted. So yeah, it's definitely a mutual thing for most people. And yeah, we can say the side of the abuse that happens and the mistreatment, but that's a minority. Most people love their pets and look after them well, and we're better for it as well. And like I say, there's also, as well as getting out and about, there's that mental aspect and that kind of wisdom that I feel dogs carry. And I read an article in The Guardian. I can't remember the book title. I'll try and put it up if I remember, that's due to come out, where it was like explaining about the psychology that, or the philosophy, sorry, that dogs can give us through their psychology of how they look at life. And it was wonderful to see how you can learn so much from your dog, that to be present and to enjoy life more. And the fact that a lot of us humans, we struggle because we're in our heads and we're thinking of the future and we're thinking of the past, and we have regrets and we have aspirations, but we're worried if they'll happen or not. And it's like, just think of the dog that just simply is happy to do the same walk, to go on the same park, to chase the same ball, to jump in the same river, to come out in the rain, to come out when it's freezing cold, whatever the conditions, whatever's going on. They'll always come running up to you at the front door. They've always got the tail wagging. And yeah, they never know what's around the corner, just like us. And they just take everything in their stride, for want of a better phrase. But yeah, I think that fits nicely with the dog theme. So yeah, that's all we've got time for on the human experience, from me and Harper. And I'll see you next time. Are you coming out again? Coming out? Yeah, so see you again. See you next time. Woo. 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 Who's that? No, he's not going to talk.